Welcome back. In this episode of Dr. Potter, I'm going to continue working on trying to learn a little bit more about the technique of slip trailing. Just to remind you, slip trailing is a technique where you take clay and mix it with water to a consistency that will allow you to apply it to clay that is leather hard and then apply some type of a colorant in it. I utilized mason stain for all of the slip trails used in this video at a ratio of about 50 grams of mason stain to 500 grams of slurry mixture. So I started off here by placing some blue dots across the top of this little pot that I made, followed by a row of green dots. Then I decided to branch out a little bit and make some different shapes, these little pentagon shapes. Without using a template, it's kind of hard to maintain the pattern, but again, this is just for fun and trying the technique to see how it works out. Interestingly, on this level, utilizing a larger amount of slip trail, I'm having some problems with gravity because the dots that I am placing on the pottery are larger. Gravity is pulling them down some. This could be fixed by either holding the pot on its side or thickening the slip trail to some extent. Enhancing this row, I add in some white dots just to dress it up a little bit and give it kind of an Easter egg look appearance. Take a look at the final product and look at the purple dots in the middle and see what you think as far as the way they came out. So I decided to leave the dots for a little bit and go for something a little bit more organic. Here I'm applying kind of a light colored yellow-green mixture bottom to top to make something like little branches or tree limbs. Again, because of the consistency of the slip trail, some of it is a little bit sloppy. And that's one of the problems with this technique. It's a little hard to control. You have to be very consistent with your mixture, and even when you do that, it seems like each bottle had a little bit different consistency. This bottle got plugged up. The set that I bought had some little rods to clear the tubing out, but you'll notice even as I clear that tubing, the first drop that comes out is mostly water followed by air. So make sure that you shake it up well and try to apply it with as much control as possible. But remember, it's organic and the idea is just to have some fun with this technique. So here we go, putting in some tree branches with a different color. This particular technique, particularly using the dots, is something that's used a lot in Mexico. There are many ceramic artists there who utilize slip trailing and make some beautiful pieces of art. They utilize templates to get a better finish. But again, this is just for fun and to look at the technique. Every little tree needs some little berries on it. So here's some ruby red that I add in to dress it up just a little bit and kind of see how it comes out. It's really a lot of fun. Things about this technique is if you don't like what you came up with, you can take it out. So here I remove this whole third row of the pentagon shaped things and decide to go for a different look. So I take 5 or 6 dots again, and this time instead of just leaving them as dots, I'm using my fingertip to touch them and then pull it away. And I noted when I did that, I got more of an organic look that almost looked like a flower petal. It made me think that I could actually let these layers dry and then put additional layers of the same color or other colorants over the top to give a bas relief or almost a 3D type look to these little flowers that I'm making. When I do this kind of technique, I almost always use an odd number of things, usually 1, 3, 5, 7, but again, because it's organic, you can do what you want. Here I'm kind of finishing up these little flowers with a green stem and some small orange centers to make them stand out. And if you look above, you'll notice that I use the same orange little pentagon shapes between the green dots to kind of dress that layer up as well. Finally, when you have these shapes, you can pop them off and redo them if they don't come out well, or rub them off like I did. But you can also use highlighters to carve around the things that you made, which will allow them to sort of look pulled up when the piece is finally glazed, particularly if you use a non-clear glaze. It gives the form more shape and a more organic or realistic look. The little blue dots at the top were not really consistent, so I went over the top of them with some more slip trail, and in doing so I was able to kind of compress the pieces together and get a better look. So this is the final piece. Actually, I'm quite happy with it. This is it after it was fired to cone 5 with the clear glaze over the top. Simple little piece, but lots of fun, and one that was easy to make, and I gave it to my granddaughter. She loved it. Hope you liked what you saw. If you did, subscribe and like, and I'll make some more. Thanks so much for watching.